Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more of the Korea-China Invitational League. It is a 9-game series, this time between Mihu, our Chinese Terran player on the left-hand side of Sylphid, and Saber, under the ID Dark on the right-hand side. Now, this is a 9-game series that's different than a best of 9. A 9-game series means that you play all of the maps, and that means that everything is approached a little bit differently. Some people were asking, like, why would you do that? Why would you have a 9-game series as opposed to a best of 9, right? Or a best of whatever. A best of series is just, there's like a different type of mentality, different type of approach. Here, it's about how many games total that you win, and you're gonna get to show that in every single, you're gonna show yourself in every single game. Right, a best of 9, you might be doing certain percentage type plays, trying to pick up victories in a more easy way. Like, basically, I want to say it's more likely to see more macro games in a 9-game series, and it's more likely for the best player to win. When you have that best of, like, you can just kind of do some things to try to steal certain wins on certain maps and everything. It's a little bit of a different mentality. Maybe if you imagine for yourself, like if you're playing each of those, how do you approach it, right? Like, first off, think of it this way, right? Like, you're playing, by the way, it's a pool first from Saber, so a little bit different from what we've been seeing from him. But like, if you are you're playing a best of 1, right? High volatility. Best of 3, slightly lower volatility. Best of 5. Okay, we're starting to really eliminate a lot of the volatility, but it's still there. You know, when you're playing a full 9 games, what would that be a best of? That's like a best of, like, let's say you had to win 9 games. It's a best of, what is it, 17? Best of something like that. But yeah, it just, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, but I get it in my head, like the way that because I've played all sorts of different series and stuff over the years, done a lot of competing, and it's like, it's a different type of approach when you just need a certain amount of wins and your losses don't really matter, as opposed to here it's money per map. You have to play all 9 games, so you definitely, there's a pressure there in wanting to make a good showing as well, which I think right now Saber might be feeling a little bit. Obviously he's down 0-4. Even if Mihu wins here, which would technically win him the series, we continue to play. So Saber, like, and the thing is, I think it hurts more over time. And you might actually get demoralized, too. That's kind of a funny thing, right? Where, like, you can no longer win, but can you still show good games, right? That's something to take into consideration. Like, if someone is up 4-0, like, or can you, and you lose this game, can you put out your best games and continue to lose and feel bad like that? I don't know. Anyways, enough of my rambling about this. Hope that you are enjoying the series. It is a pool first with a very, very fast layer. Mihu has scouted this. He has gone for a bunker. And I think he'll probably go gas and academy here, then probably the second barracks. We saw him do something similar before. He did get the 3rd depot, by the way, which means it's non-stop marine production. So he's playing pretty carefully here. And I think that this does have to do with just how heavily he's winning the series at the moment, right? Like, you do start to feel that your opponent might be getting a bit desperate. By the way, like, where's that academy? There it is. Okay, he gets that. It's just a little bit late, but I do think we'll probably see a second barracks go up pretty quickly here, just to make sure that he's got the production he needs in case aggression starts. Overlord just going over. The Zerglings have done a good job sweeping the map, looking for any possible scouts or weird things that might be out there. I mean, it's pretty rare to see from Terran, but it's good to check for it anyways. Good habit to have. There is that quick second barracks. And yeah, Mihu looking very, very solid here. You know, not that there's anything wrong with Saber's position. One thing to mention is Mutalisks are really, really good on Sylphid. The back of this main could be a little bit hard to defend. That might be where Saber tries to focus his attacks. This natural is actually very good for Mutalisk harassment, but really only if you spawn up here. When you think about it, right, when you're spawning Mutalisks, to get them up here, first off, the rally might need to be, like, over here, which can be dangerous. as opposed to somewhere like here or here, which won't be dangerous, right? Like, if you're rallying across a possible attack point, that's kind of crazy. And then you have to bring them all the way over and then down and harass. And then to get back to defend, you have to kind of go around the travel path of Terran if you want to do it quickly. But quickly but safely, I guess is the right way to put that, right? So really, positionally, it matters where your opponent is at for how you want to utilize your Mutalisks. So in these spawns, Mihu probably should be thinking more about his main base turrets than his natural turrets. Because, again, that is a more natural place for Saber to try to attack. So, see, he is coming in. Going to check out that main right away. One thing to mention, this is a very fast factory, an extremely fast factory. It's before range. It's before +1. And he is just going to continually add turrets here. A lot of turrets going up. And, well, let's see where Mihu goes from here. There's the range. So, you know, he's delayed the range to get that more quickly. I think what we're going to see here is a Valkyrie rush. That's my best guess. Because, again, like I mentioned, the map is very, very good for Mutalisks. So a lot of people do like to go Valkyrie here. Look at that, another missile turret as well. He is focusing very heavily on his defense in that main base. These turrets could be knocked out pretty quickly. Goes after the natural turret here that's next to that depot. I like this placement, too. I think, like, he is very well defended at the moment. Factory is done, so we're definitely going to see that starport, and we'll see in just a second here if he's going to start an armory up. I do believe that'll be the case. You could make the armory here or maybe here, like, you know, in this general area. Just because you don't want him to see the armory. As soon as you see the armory as Zerg, you know exactly what's going on, right? Like, there's nothing more obvious. Yeah, see, and he's trying to keep that hidden as well. So this is a very, very fast Valkyrie rush. Not the fastest one. It's not like a gas before command center type of Valkyrie rush, but he is going to have those pretty quickly. So we'll see if Saber is able to react to that well. Now, ooh, Saber, he gets the turret, but it doesn't feel like he's doing that much. Let's take a look back here. Okay, third base just finished, and mostly producing Mutalisks. So it seems like he wants to keep a very highly aggressive game. Look at the speed of the third gas. This is so he can produce more and more Mutalisks. And, like, I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit nervous for him because Mihu hasn't stepped outside of his base. And I think he knows that it was 2 racks, which means most of the time it's a Valkyrie rush. So if you're really producing heavy Mutalisks and your opponent goes Valkyrie quickly, that's going to be really hard to fight against. We should see a Valkyrie started any second now. There it is. More missile turrets going up. He knows that really the key here for Saber is going to be to buy time. When the Valkyrie comes out, like, he needs to get Sunkens out or Lurkers out immediately. And one of the best ways to buy time to do that is to do a counterattack that's so deadly they have to turn around and come back, right? Like, they have to send the Valkyrie. They have to maybe send some Marines and Medics. He has a lot of Mutalisks. So, you know, that is something that can be deadly. One Valkyrie doesn't counter Mutas. Like, it does well. It does super well with the Bioforce if you're microing it nicely. But, like, it can't just fight them straight up. So the first Valk is out. Some nice micro so far here. Saber getting ready to possibly jump on this army. Has an extra 5 Mutas and Lings over on this side. Ready for that flanking maneuver. Ooh, misses his shots right there. A little bit painful. We have actually +1 vehicle weapons on the way. So it looks like this is likely to be a mech switch from Mihu this game. The second Valkyrie is about to pop out. And the Lurker upgrade is almost done. So I think Lurkers are going to be done before he can get an actual attack. Looks like Mihu specifically was waiting for double Valkyrie to move out. Now, double Valkyrie is so much better than 1 Valkyrie. And it's not just twice as good. This type of stuff scales really quickly. Where it's like, okay, I mean, with 2 Valkyries, you're putting so much damage on the Mutas that they are getting punished almost instantly. Whereas 1, it's like, okay, they can actually stand kind of fight against 1 for a moment. But yeah, gonna go ahead, remove the Overlord. He has double siege tanks. The siege upgrade almost ready. Lurker eggs are a morphin. but he's going to be able to get into position. So this is pretty darn scary right now. Okay, a couple lurkers run up. Ooh, they're going to just run by. Huh. That's kind of an interesting position. He scans it instantly, but actually does not focus fire the lurkers. Okay, there you go. Brings the Marines in now as well. Oh my god, the Scourge! The Scourge are actually split somehow. He does miss that, unfortunately. And Saber just about clearing the army. If he had killed one of these instead of damaged both, he would have slayed everything there. So that was a huge mistake, a huge error, unfortunately. You know, I think that basically this... Oh, my God. And then he kills all of them. Basically, I think the Scourge were, like, maybe on attack move. I'm not sure. Maybe he gave it a secondary command to just hit the close-by Valkyrie. But either way, very painful to leave all this alive. He took a lot of extra damage on those Mutalisks. So, Mihu's attack, it does get stopped, but at what cost? There's a Defiler Mound on the way. It doesn't look like Saber is breakable, right? He's about to have a couple lurkers up here with a Sunken on high ground. Okay. Double stacked lurker. There is another siege tank coming down, but Consume, I think, will be ready in time to basically push this back. Meanwhile, back at home, Mihu is switching into his mech, getting that command center at the third gas as well. Some Scourge kind of just flying out. They do get hit by those Valkyries pretty quickly. Some nice targeting on the Scourge there from the Valkyries. Little stim in, but too many lurkers. Ooh, I like it. A little trap in the rally line here. This might be what Mihu wants to deal with next. I don't think you're able to kill this hatchery. You have only one siege tank that's attacking at the moment. Ooh, he actually gets a juicy hit on that Defiler. But if you lose this group, suddenly I think you're kind of back in it as Saber. Because right now it's kind of a tough position. But yeah, if you kill this off, that's most of the rest of the bio. When you're doing a tech transition, okay, there's a little bit more here, but when you're doing a mech transition, you need a good amount of medics and Marines to just kind of keep you, to tide you over until you have enough mech. But here you can just kind of run through lurkers. That was a pretty good cleaning. Like, Saber has, I think, a little bit longer to go. The bio is basically here to buy you time as you switch over, right? Like, it is a time-intensive thing to get up to critical mass with mech. You notice that mostly the mech switches are going to be heavy Vulture to start, and that's going to be because they're going to give you the most value the quickest. They're going to lay a bunch of mines. They're going to threaten counters and harassment and things like that. And then you'll get into those siege tanks. But yeah, just kind of think about the way that you need critical mass with mech to make it work really in any matchup. And how you just don't have that because you're starting the mech units basically from scratch, right? So that's where the bio comes in and why I was saying if he loses all his bio, suddenly we have, you know, we have the Saber back in the game. It's like forgetting for a second. Sorry. Now, Mihu, right now, double armory is going. He is getting ship weapons, so still interested in his Valkyries. Spreading his barracks out a little bit, getting an additional command center. Lots of gas is mining right now, adding in those additional factories as well. It's actually definitely got to add a lot more than that. And continually making the Valkyries. That's like kind of an important thing to mention. Oh! Look at this. So Queen Energy on the way. So what we're going to see, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a big transition into Queens from Saber. And that can be extremely good against mech. You do leave yourself open to a potential timing window where you've made Queens, but you don't have Broodling ready. But once you get a bunch of Queens with Broodling, they can be extremely efficient against mech. If you're Broodlinging, like a Queen costs the same as a tank, okay? So if you Broodling with a Queen one time on a tank, it's paid for itself. Also, don't forget the backbone of the Terran army is the tanks. Now, if you Broodling once, and then your Queen lives for 3 minutes, and you Broodling again, because that's how long it takes to get 150 energy is 3 minutes. Obviously, they pop out with like 63, so it's like a minute and 40 seconds after it pops out, approximately. These are not exact times. This is like within a few seconds. But you can hit that first broodling. But if you start hitting a second broodling, it's like, oh my god, well, Zerg generally has more bases, so they're, you know, the fact that they've already been equal efficiency and now they're doubling efficiency of their units, it's kind of crazy. So it can get out of hand very quickly. So many upgrades going down for Saber. It's actually insane if you look at the production tab. He is getting everything going on. Now, Mihu moving across the map. He's got a decent amount of siege tanks. He's still got some bio in there. He's got a good amount of vultures. You know, he's just kind of sitting there right now, Saber is. So he gets cleaned up here. He actually loses that Defiler without throwing down a Dark Swarm. That's too bad, because that was a great position. If you throw a Dark Swarm down right here, Mihu can't do too much against you. So that was actually like a critical error in that moment. Very, very unfortunate here for Saber. Now this base is going to fall. I don't think there's any way to save this. Oh my god, this just turned on its head in like 2 seconds. I was so excited about the queen energy and getting ready for that and everything. And like you miss one Dark Swarm and suddenly, oops, Mihu is all over you. Excuse me, look at that. He kills a Defiler just as it comes out. Saber gonna try to save this base. It might be a little too late though. Some lurkers do get burrowed. Unfortunately, the splash on the Hydras kill one of them there. And honestly, that looks like a Mihu victory. You're only on 2 base. Like, he was actually getting everything going too, but maybe powering a little bit too hard. And Mihu instantly moves in for the kill. Very well done from Mihu. I'm surprised and impressed that he just went in and destroyed him in like 2 seconds. But that has to be a bit tilting here for Saber, because he is going to go down 0-5, which is a tough situation. Mihu coming up. Looks like he's going to go for the kill. There's no Dark Swarm here, so no way to stay alive. We even saw those offensive mines. Yeah, GG. Mihu wins another one.